I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 185, Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000. Released in 2000, this game was developed and published by Acclaim. Acclaim, known for putting out like 600 games on this console, none of them all that great. Don't confuse this one with the similarly named Supercross 2000 we played as game 157. That was made by EA. I definitely hadn't heard of this game before, and I feel like the one most people remember would be Excitebike. At least we're not racing with cars this time around. I never really got into the motocross stuff. I feel like it didn't reach near the level of popularity that skateboarding did back then. You never know though. This game could be the deepest of hidden gems. Let's get into it. The first thing I did was make myself as a custom rider. You can barely change anything here. Just put the name on the back of the suit, change the rider number, and change the color of the outfit. I guess it's something, but it's there. The main single-player mode in this game is the series, so that's what we'll be doing to beat this game. You can select either 125 or 250cc as your speed class. There are a huge cast of names that were probably slightly known at the time. You've got McGrath, Dowd, Alberton, Button, Wyndham, Tortelli, Pastrana, and Ramsey. Oh snap, is that Travis Pastrana? I remember him doing a double backflip back in the day. Screw the guy I created, I'm being him. Then I had to pick a series type, either indoor supercross, outdoor nationals, or combined. I just went with the first one. The first race was in Minneapolis. There's some very basic things you can change about the bike, like the horsepower to RPM ratio and the type of tires. It was time to start the race.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so immediately I was really annoyed by the sound of the chainsaw, the bike engine revving constantly. Luckily, the devs must have thought it was annoying too and put a volume slider specifically for the engine. So it became apparent quickly that you just couldn't really crash in this game. I blasted a barrier and just nothing. There are invisible walls along all the edges, so even if you attempted to launch yourself out of the track, it wouldn't work. You also have to angle the bike up and down to land on slopes properly in games like this, but not this one, nor did I have to use the berms on the tight turns to help myself get through quicker. Basically, I was just holding accelerate for the entirety of the race. No braking, no coasting, nothing. You might even be able to drive in this one with your eyes closed. I won the first race with literally no trouble. It shows the top 3 standing on a podium and celebrating. I was at the top, right where I belong. Race 2 was in St. Louis. On the first lap, I did the impossible. They said it couldn't be done, but I found a way. I crashed. At least I can land on one of the CPUs in midair to make them crash. It's not quite as satisfying as when it happens in Supercross 2000 though. I feel like this jump at the end of the track is the perfect example of just how non-existent any challenge is here. I was poised to go flying over the barrier, but it just doesn't happen. Or at least I should crash from hitting the invisible wall. I don't know, I guess it's nice to not have to struggle. I'll take this time to talk about the graphics and audio. I think the graphics aren't all that great. You may think, oh, it looks decent for the N64. Well, it was released near the end of the console's life when high storage carts were more available. Plus, it looks way worse than the other 2 motocross games we've played. The dirt effect is just a few stray brown pixels appearing every now and then. For the audio, the engine noise is awful like I mentioned earlier. The commentator is okay. For the music, there's some generic sounding fast-paced rock and punk music. I believe The Offspring has a song in here, but on the N64 it's so hard to tell songs apart with how compressed they are. Anyway, I took first place here with no real trouble. Race 3 was in Atlanta. If you've seen one of these indoor tracks, you've seen them all. You can get first place while taking turns like this. Just no regard for any efficiency. I imagine if you played it as a young kid, it'd feel fun because you do so well. Don't get me wrong, I was on 250cc and on normal difficulty. I guess I could have tried hard, but I don't think it would have been any harder. The series then has us going to Seattle, followed by Tempe, Arizona, and then we go to Indianapolis. I really tried to find some interesting race clips, but geez, this may be the one time I would want some rubber banding here. Every race is a blowout. After that, we go to Houston, Texas, where I nearly went the wrong way at the start of the next lap. Oh man, now that's exciting. Doesn't matter, they all end in wins in the end. At least the travel to the next race was short, because it was in Dallas, Texas. After winning that one, this time Travis Pastrana was all alone on the podium. He was the indoor Supercross champion of the world. A message box popped up telling me for placing first, I unlocked a special stunt track. Oh, that might be fun. Well, that only took about half an hour. I figured I may as well check out the National Outdoor Series as well. The first race was at Glen Helen in California. I'll admit, the outdoor track was already like 10 times more interesting than any of those indoor ones. It felt like there was actually some character to the design of it, rather than it feeling formulaic like all the others. Not that the game got any harder, you could still just accelerate the entire time and do amazing. The camera seemed to struggle with changes in elevation though, which was a bit annoying. I figured out how to change the camera perspective during this race, and is it just me, or is this zoomed out view so weird looking? Like, I don't know, just being at the very bottom of the screen seems a bit off. The races in this game all have 5 laps, and these outdoor ones are a lot longer, so here we go. Still getting first place easily every time. The second race is at Motocross 338 in Massachusetts. This track was a bit of a letdown after the last one. It just felt like one of those indoor ones, just being outside this time. I mean, at least there's more scenery to look at, but yeah. Back to repetition. The third race takes you to Steel City, which is apparently a shut-down motocross course nowadays. The fourth track is Broome, Tioga, somewhere in New York. This had a hill on it. At least a bit of excitement this time. I'll take what I can get. The fifth race is at Red Bud in Michigan, where apparently they have the best dirt on Earth. Look, there's a camper park near the track. That's the kind of attention to detail you get in Jeremy McGrath's Supercross 2000, you know? The sixth race was in Washougal, Washington. This was probably the most exciting of all the tracks. Tons of changes in elevation, tight turns, what more could you ask for? Well, a lot, but this is the best we're gonna get. Budds Creek, Maryland is where we go in week 7. They've got a bumpy hill near the end of the lap. Just accelerate over it and you'll be fine. And the 8th and final race takes us to Spring Creek, Minnesota. What is their claim to fame? Well, this is the longest stretch of tiny bumps in the entire game. So anyway, after dominating all of those, I took first place once again in the Outdoor Motocross series. It didn't even say I unlocked anything for this one. What the heck? Do you just get the freestyle track for any of them? Well, I know you must be thinking, there's no way this game has more to offer, but oh, it does. The Combined series. That's right, you get to play both the indoor and outdoor series together all at once. May as well do it, right? All 16 of them. It's just the same tracks, no new ones. I dominated here and I'd now won all 3. Surprisingly, the credits rolled when I finished the series. Not sure if it's only from the Combined or only once you've done all 3. I guess I'm glad I did them. Now with that done, I decided I'd check out that freestyle mode. Using the R button along with other buttons on the controller, you can do crazy stunts in the air, like the can-can. I mean, I guess it's there, but I don't really see it providing more than a few minutes of entertainment. The final thing this game has to offer is the track editor. Here you can make your own indoor tracks, and it's honestly fairly well done. It feels like this is the tool they use to make all the indoor tracks for the game because it's pretty limited in the same way those all felt. But as far as figuring out how to operate it, it's simple. I made the best track in existence, if I do say so myself. I took the world record for the longest streak of tiny bumps to humble that Spring Creek place. Okay, the actual final thing in the game is the cheats menu. There's actually a good amount of stuff you can modify here. I swear, modern games need to bring these back. Yeah, this is incredibly cursed. I love it. Should have played the entire game like this. But, yeah, that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it. My journey to beating Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000. Look, I didn't exactly hate playing this game, but I certainly didn't like it. The game controls well, maybe a little too well. There should be some danger to driving recklessly, but there just isn't. The outdoor tracks were a lot more enjoyable than the indoor ones for sure. I don't know, it's wild how many levels up Excitebike is compared to this. It's like going from having electricity to carrying around a gaslit lantern everywhere. Supercross 2000 had much better presentation too, although that one was quite frustrating to play. I really don't see any reason to touch this game unless you have some severe nostalgia for it. If you do, well, at least it's easy. Graphics aren't great and the music's okay. Definitely a disappointment overall. I gave Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000 a 2.5 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 1 out of 10 for difficulty. Alright, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. We'll do a random track Mountain Pass. 206 games on the list. We have not been here yet. Could be Biofreaks, or Blues Brothers, or Revolt. 3, 2, 1... go. And the marbles are off. I see 2 entries for GoldenEye there. Pro Shinon Mahjong currently in the lead. NBA Zone in the Zone 2000 as well. Turok 2 coming down. And it is Pro Shinon Mahjong Suamono. No, Kirby 64 is actually the first one out. Pro Shinon Mahjong right behind in second. Kirby 64 getting held up a little there, and that allows Mahjong to take the lead. And we're coming into a little bit of a roadblock here with these boulders. It's causing a lot of league changes. I see NFL Blitz as well as International Superstar Saga, and this boulder is going with the marbles. And that allows Kirby 64 to capitalize on that error from Mahjong. And Kirby 64 has the clear lead now. Mahjong and Mia Hamm Soccer not too far behind. And Kirby 64 getting held up a little bit there on that turn. NFL Blitz trying to capitalize on this. And coming into the snow, NFL Blitz does take the advantage and come out in the lead now. It's NFL Blitz followed by Kirby 64, Mia Hamm Soccer, Pro Shinon Mahjong Suamono. And now everybody, there's just a roadblock, and Zor Maju, the Japanese game, our last game on the list, currently coming ahead, and now it's a Bug's Life as well as F-Zero X. And we got some marbles being launched in the air. They could potentially get a shortcut from this, as we see Battle Tanks 2 attempting to go for the shortcut. It doesn't quite pay off. And a few games actually do. Dual Heroes with a big advantage now. Castlevania Legacy of Darkness, Hot Wheels Turbo Racing, Mahjong 64 as well. Dual Heroes, the clear favorite right now, but Hot Wheels Turbo Racing now in the lead. And we got Dual Heroes and Hot Wheels Turbo Racing in a neck-and-neck battle coming into the very end, and there are boulders causing an absolute roadblock. And this gives Castlevania and Mahjong 64 the chance to come back. Automobile Lamborghini is coming through as well. It could be anybody's game. It's down to these 5 games, folks. The boulder is going to despawn soon. Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue is trying to steal the show as well. And Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue sneaks through the rubble around the crushed boulder. And in insane fashion, I don't see a change. Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue sneaks by. Unexpected, what an upset. Power Rangers had no business winning this race, but it did. Power Rangers, whoa, we got marbles everywhere. What an upset. Power Rangers wasn't even in the running. Anybody who bet on that made a lot of money today. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you so much. If you had a good time, consider hitting that like button, or maybe even dropping a subscription. Or hey, maybe even watch another one of these videos that's on screen now. And yeah, see you next time.